Hello, my students. How are you? I hope you're doing well. So today we are going to study how to use the semicolons. Semicolons is as important as comma, period, question mark, exclamation point, or punctuation marks. So this is chapter 14, lesson number 2, page 261. We have some rules we need to follow so we can understand how to use a comma. Some people get confused between a comma and a semicolon. They don't know whether should use this or this. But because we have rules, we are going to follow these rules so we can understand how we can use semicolons. Okay, and remember, semicolons is so important, you cannot ignore it. You cannot write, let's say a sentence is fine, but you can write paragraphs without semicolon. Got it? So use a semicolon for a pause that longer than one signaled by comma, but shorter than one signaled by a period or colon. Let's see how does that. Use a semicolon to join independent clause in a compound sentence that doesn't have a coordinating conjunction. Do you remember fanboys and for nor so yet? But sometimes if you do not want to use coordinating conjunction, it's just you have to use without them. You just have to use semicolon, just like this example. Okay, it is so easy, as I said. It's just like here, instead of using comma and then coordinating conjunction, you just have to use semicolon. Again, use a semicolon to join independent clauses in a compound sentence that doesn't have a coordinating conjunction. You cannot write coordinating conjunction with a semicolon. Here, use a semicolon between independent clauses joined by coordinating conjunction, but if either clause contains comma. This is another rule. I said that you cannot write here coordinating conjunction with a semicolon, but we have another rule that we have here, at least one of them, or if either clause contains commas, like just here. Here, we have this: we will visit Chicago, comma, a semicolon, but first we will stop in Gary, Indiana. We have a comma. This is a different, rule. Okay, so if you want to distinguish between the first one and the second one, you just have to read these examples. Again, remember, if either clause contains comma, one of them should contain comma. Okay, here. Use a semicolon before a conjunctive adverb or a transitional expression that joins independent clauses. A comma follows the conjunction adverb or transitional expression. First, let me show you here some common conjunctive adverbs like accordingly, also, meanwhile, moreover, nevertheless, otherwise, still, then, therefore, indeed, however, furthermore, consequently, besides, also. So these some common conjunctive adverbs. Here, some common transitional expressions, as a result. For example, in addition, in fact, for instance, that is from that point on. In other words, on the other hand. So, just to understand this, again, let's read this again. Use a semicolon before a conjunctive adverb or a transitional expression that joins independent clauses. A comma follows the conjunctive adverb or transitional expression. Let me show you here how is that. First, here you have to write a semicolon, and then you have to use some common conjunctive adverbs or transition words, and then you should write a comma. Like here, however, this is conjunctive adverb, and here we have that is. Again, we have to write semicolon here and then comma here. Okay, so it is so important. Okay, and again, I you have to use, let's say, these because it is so important and you don't have to forget. For example, let's say that you wrote semicolon however without a comma. This is absolutely wrong. No one will accept this. It is so wrong. Or here comma without a semicolon, another wrong way to write these. Again, it's so easy, so important, but at the same time you have to concentrate. Here, use a semicolon to separate items in a series when one or more of the items contains a comma. It looks like the second example when we said if either clauses contains comma. Here, same thing. Use a semicolon to separate items in a series when one or more of the items contains a comma. Here, Tina lived in Ovid, New York. We have a semicolon, and this is another series, like another sentence, another. Antonio lists here another sentence, but here we have a comma, New York. So basically, it is true or correct to write semicolon, semicolon, and comma. Okay, it's easy, and you do not have to be scared or confused. Let's just here. Do not use a semicolon between an independent. This is an editing tip, and I always say that editing tip is so important to you guys. Do not use a semicolon between an independent clause and dependent clause or phrase. If you remember this lesson, I gave you this lesson before, that we have independent and dependent. You do not have to use semicolon. This is so wrong. This is the worst mistake ever. Let's say, tip that you should avoid or follow at the same time. Mistake should avoid and tip you should follow. It is so easy, as I said. You just have to follow these examples. Write a good sentence, subject, verb, complements, and then use if you need to use transition words, or if you need to use conjunctive adverbs, etc. Here, exercise number 3. Using semicolons and colons. So this is so important. I want you to do this, study this, answer this. We have 10, no, more than 10. We have 13 sentences that you should guys do this and send me the answers so I can check your answers. It is so important, as I said. Here, if a sentence is correct, write C after it. Sometimes you have a correct sentence, you do not have to change it, just write C. Also here, this is another, let's say, practice for you. Maybe like you can write just a short paragraph about anything you want using colon, semicolon, period, question mark, exclamation point. And that's it, my students, for today. It is so easy, as I said. You just need to focus and concentrate, watch my video, answer the exercise, and send me the answers. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And if you have anything you want to ask, just feel free to ask whatever you want. Thank you.